onto them today to get the map. Now, Mr. Woodhouse up there, who's the chairman of, what do you call yourself? Heritage Society. He's seen a copy of a map. I've seen a copy of a map, but I haven't been able to get it off the internet. And he and I are both terribly, terribly confused about it because it's got this funny arrow that points somewhere west. We don't actually know where they're going to put the buses. Well, they could go there. Anything's possible. What we do know is that they are intending to cut out the loop down here for Elizabeth Bay. I find that outrageous. I was born here. When I was born in St Luke's Hospital, my parents lived in number 20 Macleay Street. We lived here until I was about 3.5. And my earliest memories of life are of this area. And it was way different back then. Many of the buildings that are around and are still around are reaching their use-by date. They were built in the 30s and they were built without parking. We now live in a society which is dependent on the car. But we've also got the densest population intensity in the world in 2011 postcode area. We have also got a hell of a lot of people who bought into those buildings that were built in the 30s who are now in their 80s. And what are we going to do about them? How are they going to get around? One of the reasons that I think I lost a stone last week as I was putting posters up was that I had to climb up that bloody hill. Now, I'm 52. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it when I'm 70. And I've got no idea how I'd do it if I were 80. And they're the sorts of things that we've got to think about. Now, the STA will say, oh, well, we've had a consultation period and that's over, so bad luck. Well, nothing's over, particularly in New South Wales politics this week. We don't even know who's going to be Premier tomorrow. But what we need to do is to be able to speak with some form of united voice. So, they're going to take that loop out. They're going to do away with the route between here and the railway. They're going to terminate the service, not at Circular Quay, but at Gresham Street. Why? Now, the reason is quite simple if you're looking at it from their point of view. The buses that we've got are too long. They take up too much space. They are currently clogging George Street and they are clogging Circular Quay because the drivers are required to meet the timetable. Anybody who ever uses the damn service knows perfectly well, this can't help behave, that's for hitting people, knows perfectly well that this city is just completely clogged. There's no way you can run a service like the 311 and run it to a timetable. It can't be done. Now, they don't acknowledge that. They say we've got to stick to the thing. Now, there's a whole range of different solutions that we could come up with. I'd like to know what you think, so that I've got an opportunity to speak on your behalf. But before that, I'd like to throw it open to the politicians and get them to tell us what practical measures they propose for our bus service. And I'm going to draw it straight out of the hat. Councillor Harris. You're on.